Hello everyone, how are you today? How was your weekend?
Hello, teacher. Good, good.
Hello Manuel. Hello guys.
Hello, teacher.
How are
Was
you,
great.
Wendy? Yeah, awesome. Hello Kiara. My dear friends, I don't know where you are, but here it's raining cats and dogs. It's crazy. How is it over there where you are?
Yes, teacher. It's raining
Is it?
very strong.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do our best, but we don't know what
Miss,
happens.
meeting in Florida, there are a storm.
Hmm. Yes, Catherine. I don't know. I can hear that it's kind of, I don't know, like maybe it stopped because suddenly I stopped listening to those thunderstorm sounds, but I don't know what's going on outside. Well, so we will see how it goes. Let's be patient. There are some things that we cannot control, so it is okay. Yeah, and I say that because the light kind of, like flashes like that. And I just told my coordinator, like, whoa, I don't know. What about the power? Yeah. So let's see how it goes. My dear friends, this is our second week, class 3. And today we are going to start working on something that is very important for you and for us, and is to know about the exam, yeah, the methodology, the format, everything. So let me tell you what is the plan for today. Let me see what's the agenda. I'm pretty sure that some of the students will miss class today because of the weather conditions, which we totally understand. So here we are. This is our plan. I didn't ask you. Can you hear me well? Is that okay? Is the sound okay?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Well, class 3 of this level B2.5. And this is our plan. Yes, Manuela. I hope mine is not because I really need it. But yeah, I understand. Weather conditions, things we cannot control. Don't worry. Okay, so today, as I told you, you guys will know the kind of test you will take this cycle, but that's for the second block. In the first block with me, we're going to talk about millennials in the workplace. So it's basically like a discussion. Yeah, we will check out some vocabulary, we will discuss with our friends, and at the end, we will have a reading part. Remember that when you guys take the test, you face long readings and very how can I say, like a little bit dense, yeah, like lots of vocabulary and things. In the classes, we usually help you with that, like we explain the vocabulary, we put that into context, which is very useful and helpful, yeah. So today we will do the same, but I will just give you some words that you will need, and the rest of it is for you to work with some people, like reading together and do what I do with you, that is basically to discuss each paragraph, yeah, because you guys need to start training those strategies in order to face that test, yeah. Okay, so we are going to work on this topic for giving our opinions to, yeah, to learn some vocabulary. And after the first block with your teacher Laura, you will know more about the exam that you will take this cycle, which is very long. But of course, as I told you at the beginning of this cycle, we will help you to know it and to get some strategies for working on it, right? So let's start with our warm up. It's a word search. So here we have some words. This is the instruction. The words are on the right. These are the words that I want you to work on, okay? But there is another thing I would like you to do, and is to try to understand those words, or I don't know if you already use them, okay, if you know them. And when we are done with this, we will socialize that vocabulary. Okay, that's the plan. So first, you guys just look for them in the word search, and then we will discuss them together. And if you don't know them, I will teach that vocabulary to you, and we will discuss. Okay, that is our warm-up, because today we are going to talk about millennials. What are those? Or what is that? Okay, so let's go. Let's work on it, and I will be checking the attendance while you guys are doing that. Okay. You just have to click on begin, and okay, let me show you. Let me show you. You click on begin, and that way you will see your word search. Look, on the right, you have the words I want you to look for, okay? You click on begin, and how are you going to select the words? You click on the first letter that you want to mark. For example, here, you do this, click, drag the mouse, and if it's not a word, it just gives you a sound, and that's it. But if it is a word, it will select it itself. Okay? Questions? No
teacher.
questions? Okay, so let's do it. And remember, it's not just looking for the words in the word search, but also to try to understand this vocabulary. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm going to check out the attendance and then we will check the vocabulary together. Okay. Karen?
Present, teacher.
Okay, Karen, very good. Santiago? Well, Santiago told me he was in very bad weather conditions. Okay. Kiara?
Present, teacher.
Okay, Kiara, I'm glad you're safe. Are you already in your house?
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. Jorge?
Hello, teacher.
Okay, great. Jorge. Natalia?
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Diego?
Present, teacher.
Great. Manuela?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Manuela. Jessica?
Present, teacher.
Awesome. Catherine?
Present, miss.
Okay. Marlon?
Present, teacher.
Okay, very good. Mandy? Can you hear?
Teacher, present. Good evening.
Okay, thank you, Mandy. Manuel?
Hello, teacher. Present.
Okay, very good. Alejandra?
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Maria. And Vanessa? Okay, so I know about Santiago, but I don't, oh yes, Vanessa is there. Okay, perfect. So everything is okay. Santiago, Vanessa, so we are just missing him. Perfect. Okay, good. So I think it's not necessary to send the message from the coordinators. She just told me that if you guys have, you know, like problems with the weather conditions and the internet, just like tell her for, you know, like having that report. But we understand, of course, it's just part of the protocol. Okay, so if anything happens to you, just do it. Okay, I already told her that I am only missing Santiago, and he told me, so that's perfect. Okay, how was the word search? Did you guys know that vocabulary? Was it familiar to you?
Not really, teacher.
No, right? It was not for me either. It was like, I don't know it. Or maybe I kind of understand what those letters stand for, but I don't really use it. Well, I think I'm not a millennial. Okay, let me show you the ones that we have. And let's try to put it into context. Okay, here we are. This one was your word search, and these were the words you guys were requested to look for. So here we are. Okay. Millennial vocabulary. This one, yes, means fear of missing out. I won't be able to make it to the concert. It's giving me major FOMO. Fear of missing out is when you don't really feel good of, you know, like skipping any invitation or just refusing to eat, yeah, because you think that if you don't attend that, you will feel very bad, like, yeah, even if that is a boring thing or boring event, you just need to be there, which for me is totally ridiculous, because okay, if you sometimes we just don't want to go, we don't want to socialize, we don't want to attend, and that's fine. We need time to be with ourselves, and that's totally healthy. Well, that's my opinion, of course, right? It's not like it should be like that. But in my case, to feel FOMO or have FOMO is a very ridiculous thing, is my opinion again. What do you think? Do you think that you need to be in everything your friends are just because if you miss any part of it, you wouldn't be as cool as them or anything like that? No?
Not really, miss.
Right? What's your opinion, Catherine? Well, Jorge, that's the real, I mean, like, that's the context we use it, you know? It doesn't have any other one, like, for example, professional, something like that. No, it's more like when you don't want to miss anything your friends do, you know, like events, hanging out, going to the cinema, attending a concert, yeah? Basically, because you think that if you don't attend that, you will feel bad afterwards, yeah? Okay, we have these words and they mean that moment when. Do you remember that moment when he walked in and blah, blah, blah? Yeah? So basically, of course, here, as you see phonemes, yeah, which are like consonants and vowels, you can just say the word like FOMO, that's okay. But in this one, it's just, I think it's basically a written way, yes? Because in the pronunciation, I will say the letters, right? It's like, for example, do you remember the time when I wrote some of them in the chat? And we have this, for example. I'm going to give you some that are even more common and not necessarily millennium vocabulary. For example, this one. Yeah, you don't say it when you're speaking. It's a written one. Very colloquial, very informal when you are chatting or texting. Yes, and that means by the way. Yeah, so by the way, blah, blah, blah. Yes, or the time I told you ASAP. Yes, that is as soon as, yes, possible. By the way. Okay, so some of them are, as they are very, very informal, very, very colloquial, yes, they refer to a written way rather than the way we use them when we speak. Okay, let's continue. You also, in the word search, yes, you also needed to find turned, yeah, this one. So here we have it. It means getting overly excited. Yeah, these songs got me so turned. Yeah, when you are very, very excited. Okay, so you can use it as an adjective. Okay. We also found walk. It means to be aware. Life is tricky. Stay walk, girls. Yeah, be aware. Well, this one, for me, it makes sense. Yeah, because maybe what if you, for example, use the verb wake, for example, like wake up, be aware, yes? Okay, so it makes sense. Okay, I'm not sure about this one. Did I put it in the word search? Do you find it? Yes, TDF here. So that one means to die for. That cheesecake is TDF, is to die for. Is very good, is great. Yeah, we don't have to be so literal, right? Okay, so far, did you know any of these ones? Any of them?
No one, teacher.
No? Okay, now we have stan, which is a combination between soccer and fun. Yeah. Yes, Jorge, it is. Thank you for your comment. Okay, soccer and fun. It's just a stan. So remember, stalker is a person who is, you know, like aware of another person's life, like always like checking for what he or she does. And fan is basically very similar because it's a follower. Yes. And these days, a lot of people use that vocabulary, right? Like follower. Oh yeah, how many followers do you have? Yeah, and for some people that is very important. So that's a very millennial thing. Okay, let's continue. Oh, let me see what are the other comments in. Oh yes, Manuel, about
Yes,
Stan.
sure. Yes, it's called Stan.
Cool.
And it's related to that meaning.
Oh really? To be in
Yes.
soccer and fun?
Yes.
Nice.
It's a history.
Yeah. Interesting. I've never heard that one. Maybe you can just type it in the chat and I will have a look at it. Thank you. Oh, Mandy, my goodness. I'm so sorry. I know weather conditions today are. Yes. Okay. Ghost. So actually, there is a word that is ghosting. Yes. And it refers to what ghosts do. Yeah, that is when someone disappears or leaves you hanging without any kind of sign or any kind of report or any kind of warning. They just disappear. That is a very unhealthy thing. So I really recommend you don't do that. Yeah, because it's better to face things in life and you can face the situation and say, okay, bye, that's it. Yeah. So, ghosting is when someone disappears or leave you hanging, okay, without any reason. Yes, you can mention or use it ghost as the person and ghosting as the action the person is doing. Okay, like, well, Mandy is ghosting me. Yes, those are the two ways you can use it. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, thank you, Manuela. I think that's the song. Thank you, thank you. I will have a look at it later. Thank you. Okay, we have this one that is Chuck. Remember our word utter. Yes, this one is a word that we already studied in our lessons. That means like complete. Yes. So Chuck, to be in utter disbelief or shaken by something. Yeah, it's like when you are very shocked because of any situation. This new trend has me shocked. Yes. Okay. And here we have one that is not it's not the animal, not the goat. No. You use it, yes, as these words or these letters, sorry, are standing for greatest of all time. So not the animal, okay? Not the animal. Yes, Jorge, thank you so much for that. Tan, someone with no life of their own because they are following other someone else's life, yeah, like stalking them. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I don't care what you say. Brian Adam is GOAT. It's greatest of all time. Yeah, it's not like a goat, like the animal. No. Okay, this one refers to some. Okay, it's when you want to refer someone as your family. Okay, this can be used both singular and plural. Yes, mom, I've got your back. Okay, basically like the way you call another person, like when you say friend or bad. Yeah. And we have lots of them in Spanish, of course, depending on the region of Colombia. Okay, trill, true and real. I swear what I just told you is trill. Yeah, true and real. And the last one, extra, is being overly dramatic. So extra, the word itself refers to more, yeah? But it doesn't have any negative connotation. I mean, in the real meaning of the word. But in this context, it does, yeah, because it is like not a good thing. Stop being so extra all the time. Yeah, stop being so dramatic. Okay, so well, my friends, these are some common vocabulary from millennials. Questions about them? That's the interaction about our discussion. Why? Because we are going to talk about millennials. Questions? Comments? Let me see, what else are you? I don't understand your question, Jorge. What do you mean? Well, it's a combination between the two words, true and real. Okay, guys, these words are very informal, very colloquial, yeah. So you know that, yeah, according to the generations, we are also changing the way we communicate, yeah, especially in a colloquial way. And these are some of the expressions that they use. Okay, any other question? Anything you want to say or add? Not really? Okay, so we are ready for our discussion. As I told you, we are going to talk about millennials. But before that, yeah, the word may be common for us, but not really clear, yeah? So we are going to learn a little bit about those generations' names, yeah, and why they are called like that. And after that, once we have this theme very clear, then we will just focus on millennials, okay? So here I have some of the generations I found, and I have an article that is very interesting, yes, that a doctor wrote, okay? So we are going to focus on this article first, and later we will continue with the discussion. We have millennials, baby boomers, Generation Z, also Y, okay? And we are going to try to analyze them, and maybe you guys can tell me which one are you, okay? Look, here we have an avocado because it is said that millennials are often attributed with an obsession with avocados. I don't know if that's true, it's just a trend. In my case, I love them. I find it very, very healthy, very tasty, and essential for our body. Yeah, it's very good because it gives you lots of nutrients, yes, and it's delicious. So it's like a trend, or I'm not sure if it's a trend, but millennials talk about avocados, yeah, as a special thing. Okay, guys, we are going to check out some information about them, but first I want you to know that this is based on what this Dr. Alexis Abramson, yeah, wrote in a special article related to it. Okay, this is the introduction because as soon as we have all the generations clear, we can discuss how millennials work and what is the future of them, yeah, related to technology, related to the way we communicate nowadays, yeah. Okay, so I would like any of you who please help me read. It would be so boring if you just listen to me. Let me give you the introduction and then you guys help me. You've heard it all before. Millennials are lazy. Baby boomers are mega rich. And as for Generation Z, they see more of their phone screen than their own family. Yeah, so those are like kind of attributes, yeah, we give them depending on the generation, right? But these are just labels, yeah? So what do they mean? How are they categorized or classified? Yes, what do we need to know about them? Remember that when we classify something or categorize something, it does not necessarily mean that they really fulfill all of those characteristics, right? There are some things that may be different, yeah? Okay, so here we are. What do these different labels actually mean? And do any of the stereotypes, that's the word stereotype, attached to them contain any grace of truth? Because we just label them, yeah, according to some trends or some beliefs, but we don't really know if they are true. They are stereotypes. This doctor, an expert in what are known as generational cohorts. Cohorts means groups, just groups. Don't worry about the word, it's just groups, yeah? Is the group we use for label things, yeah, like when we classify them. Okay, says we define generations because when you are born affects your attitudes, your perceptions, your values, your behaviors. If you notice the way you behave may be very different from the way your parents do. Yeah? Because we are a different generation from them. And we are trying to adapt and be flexible to the new ones. Yeah? Yes, Jorge. That's a common theme from the new ones. They spend lots of time, yes, doing those things. Okay, so as I was telling you, depending on the generation you were born, we may behave in a different way. It does not mean that we are all the same. No. Yeah, but we can just like follow some things. Okay, this means that each of them has their own characteristics. So we are going to look at to have a look at them. Okay. So let's start with the silent generation. Okay. Who can help me read, please? Oh, sorry. We're going to start with the silent generation. Okay, let me ask any of you. Okay, thank you, Catherine, for raising your hand. Let's go.
Okay, Miss, the silent generation. This is the first definite generation group. It refers to who's born between 1926 and 1945. So these are people who lived through World War II. Their name comes from an article in Time magazine from the 1950s and alludes to the fact that the children of this generation were thought to be seen and not heard. According to Dr. Abrahamson, this group are disciplined, value-oriented, and loyal, interested in direct communication, so enjoy speaking in person as opposed to via technology.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Yes, guys, these are the characteristics of this group of people. And as Catherine said, interested in direct communication. Yeah, not just like we are now that are, like we prefer sending a message instead of, like checking if we can see the person or even call them. There are some people that I know these days that avoid answering a call. Yeah, they hate that. It's like, why calling me if I can just, like interact via WhatsApp or doing things like that. I am a little bit like old-fashioned that way. I really like calls. Maybe because I speak a lot. So that's my way. Okay, the silent generation from this time, 1926 to 1945. Okay, so after that, we have the baby boomers. Who can please help me read this one?
Me, teacher.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay. Baby boomers. This is the only generation that's been defined by an official government body. The U.S. Census Bureau, which is part of the country's Department for Commerce, and is responsible for collecting data from across the U.S. They're so named because of the huge surge of births after World War II. The group starts in 1946 and ends with those burns around 1964. When the birth rate began to decline again, Dr. Abramson says boomers are committed, self-sufficient, competitive. She thinks this may have something to do with how many of them there were.
Thank you so much for reading, Karen. Okay, good. So these are the characteristics of these people. Committed, yeah, that you really, really do what you have to do, what you take up, yes. I see a very big difference with commitment these days. Lots of people, yes, from these new generations avoid commitment in relationships, in workplaces, in projects or goals they have. Yes, things like, for example, when they start doing something like, I don't know, working out, yeah, when they have a relationship, yes, so they are kind of, okay, this is not my thing, bye. Yeah, people in the past were more committed than we are now. Okay, after baby boomers, we have Generation X. We are getting very close to the age we were born. I mean, not the age, the date, yes, and the year. I'm not sure about you. You guys are very young, but I think I am maybe in this one. Okay, so who can please read about Generation X? Thank you, Kiara.
Generation X. The Resolution Foundation think tank defines Gen X of those born between 1966 and 1980. They grew up in a time when technology was advancing fast, but it wasn't nearly as readily available as it is today. Because of this generation straddles both the digital and non-digital world and understands that the importance of both. Dr. Abramson says these people are resourceful, logical, good problem solver.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think these ones are our parents, right? Yes? Can you? Yes, right? Can you think about your parents' ages, guys, and tell me, so far, in which generation do you place your parents? Mine in this one.
This one.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so we come to the one that we're going to focus on, that is millennials or Generation Y. Okay, who can read, please? Come on, we are getting close to, okay, thank you, Manuel, for reading.
Okay, this is the cohort you have probably heard the most about. It's not entirely certain where the generation starts and ends, but it's approximately those born from 1980 and 1995. They were often described as lazy in the media and that they spend all the money they should be saving for a house on avocado toast. But they are also the first generation to be digital natives, as Dr. Abramson describes them. She thinks this makes them extremely self-sufficient and they no longer have to rely on others to solve their problems or teach them things. They have the internet for that. Other defining characteristics, sorry, teacher. Other defining characteristics include confident, curious, questioning authority. Dr. Branson thinks that this can be perceived quite badly by some of the older generations. Who would be less likely to do so?
Thank you so much for reading, Manuel. Very good pronunciation. Okay, this is the one that we are going to focus a little bit more because the idea is to discuss on them. You guys are, I think you guys are placed on this one as well as I am. Yeah. There are a lot of things that people say about them. And of course, as I told you at the beginning of this conversation, those are some stereotypes. It does not mean that we can all be labeled by these characteristics, yeah, and by this kind of behavior. We may follow some of them, we may have some of them, but we are always individuals and we are unique, yeah. Of course, here we are like, how many people are we now? Like, oh my God, what are my students? Now I have only 11. Okay, maybe some of them are just like with bad weather conditions. And we are all different, we think different, we have different perspectives, and that is what we do or build according to the way we were raised, according to the way we live. Yeah, there are different facts and aspects we have to take into account to just label a person. We have one thing in common here in this meeting, and is that we want to learn English. That's what we do. Yes, that's why we are together. Okay, but I don't know if you are exactly the same as these characteristics mentioned. This is just something that I think is for fun, like making fun of this thing, the fact that people love avocados this time. And as I told you, we have found that this one is very healthy and has lots of things that are good for our body. But there is something that I differ here. For example, all the money they should be saving for a house, yeah, waste now, invest on avocados. What happens with our generation is that it's not so easy to get a house because of lots of things and aspects. In the past, my grandparents had houses, farms, lots of things, and now it's so different because of the conditions, because of the inflation, because of lots of things that we are living and facing, right? So if we could get, or if we see the way we can get a house in a very easy way, maybe we will be doing that. Yeah. Tell me about this. Tell me about these characteristics. Maybe tell me if you differ from the doctor, or if you think that is the same, or maybe if you want to add anything to this generation. Go ahead. What do you want to say? Remember, we are discussing. We are just talking like in an informal way, just relax. So, do you agree? I agree about the technology, of course. Yeah, like the way people are learning, yes, and getting to be used to using it is, of course, very fast, very efficient, very good. But with this generation, the new ones, for me, are likely to, I don't know, like, for example, let me tell you something. I see that technology is great, that you can do a lot of things with it, that internet is terrific. But in the new generations and the very young people, for example, the ones that are my students, the teenagers, I don't see them really getting into a useful way of using it, but more like social network, checking, testing, chatting, and for me, that's not useful. But I see this generation learning how to program, how to code, like really getting things like learning English, for example, learning other languages. Yeah, they're really taking advantage of it. The new ones are just like, not all, but more like, okay, how can I make money from it? Which is also good because we need money, but more like, okay, as you mentioned, TikToks and things like that. Okay, now is your time. I have been talking the whole time. Tell me, Manuel, I'm not sure if you are raising your hand or it was from the previous one.
Sorry, teacher, that was from the previous one.
Okay. So who wants to say anything about millennials? Diego, good. Diego, you are very good at technology, so you have a lot of things to say.
Teacher, I agree with all of this article, but especially it's very difficult to buy a house for us because exists a lot of things, but the last generations are very strict with us for this. And the real reason is that we are paying for the bad decisions that they made in your time.
I know.
I think.
Yeah. It totally makes sense. Yes. So it's very hard for us now, and that's why people now cannot just, like think about those big goals that they may have in the past, but other things. Now everything is very accelerated. It's like so fast That's why we cannot concentrate on little tasks like more than 5 minutes, then we get bored. I have seen that with my students in the action places, especially with the young ones. I have to do a lot of things for them to be engaged and interested, of course, but at some point it's something that I cannot control, and we just need to adapt to that new generation. They want everything very fast. They get bored with everything. They cannot concentrate longer than 3 minutes. Yeah, because that's what we do with the cell phone, and that's what we do when we are doing that. Okay, more than 10 seconds, boring. Yeah, it's like kind of hard. And I'm talking about education because that's my field, right? Okay, guys, thank you for your comments. If you want to say any other thing, you are welcome. But let's finish with this. We have another one, Generation Z. There are a few conflicting ideas about where this generation starts. Pew Statistics says 1997 Statistics Canada says 1993, and the Resolution Foundation says 2000. Wherever it really begins, though, we can safely say this group is young, of course, and has never known a life without technology. No, of course not, yeah? That might be why their alternative name, coined by American psychologist Dr. Jim Trent, is iGen. Yes, that is like they have technology. Some of their characteristics include ambitious, digital natives, confident, yes, and that's the Generation Z, the new people, I mean them, the young ones. I think maybe some of you were born in 2000. Yeah, some of you are part of this one, of course. If you are like 22, 21, 23, 20, of course you are from this generation. My dear friends, to conclude this, before you guys go to the discussion. Okay, the important thing to note, according to this doctor, is that while this separation can be useful, at the end, as I told you, we are individuals. It doesn't mean that we are all like that. Yeah, it's like horoscopes. Horoscopes tell you about some characteristics you guys may have according to the date and conditions you were born. Yeah, for example, it separates it according to the 12 months we have in the year. So you may be a Sagittarius or Libra or Leo, yes? But you won't ever fit your star signs description exactly, especially if you don't understand that if you had the moon that way or other way, you may be very different from the same group of people. You have the same zodiac sign. For example, Diego is Libra and I am Libra, but we are totally different. And if you ask people who believe in those things, they will say, yeah, because you had the moon in a different position. And they also mix mathematics and astrology and things like that, yeah? So, conclusion is, we are different. We are unique. The same goes for cohorts, as I told you, groups, although as the stereotypes are given more prominence in the media, she knows that people in the different groups can pigeonhole themselves into aligning themselves with those characteristics. Here we're going to stop for explaining pigeonhole. When you pigeonhole yourself, you are classifying or label in a part of thing or any kind of group. I'm going to speak Spanish. Esto significa categorizar. ¿Sí? Categorizar, clasificar, tratar de, digamos, que encajar o clasificar o categorizar en algo. Entonces, en este caso, estamos hablando de las generaciones. ¿Sí? También podemos decir pigeonhole yourself in, I don't know, like people who work out. Eso aplica para todos, no solo para las generaciones. Ustedes pueden categorizar cualquier persona dentro de cualquier grupo o cohorte, que sería el contexto en el que estamos hablando. Okay? Pigeonholes. What else? What they can help us with, as this doctor explains, is so that we know how and when to work differently with a group. Why? Okay, because you are not going to work the same way you work with teenagers, yeah, as you work with elderly people. That is why it is useful to know those generations. Yeah, here it says the same. In other words, you wouldn't treat a 60-year-old the same way would a teenager. So having these cohorts give us a rough idea of what different age groups might want and need. And this is what I do with my students. I work with teenagers on Saturdays, and they have to be like 4 hours with me. If I don't do wonderful things for them, 4 hours would be just chaotic for them, yeah? And they are teenagers, and I have seen, as I told you, they cannot concentrate longer than 3 minutes in one activity. So, yeah, I'm trying to adapt to that reality, and we need to adjust to the world, yes? Because there will be more things coming. Okay, someone who please read the last conclusion. Communication breakdown, please. Any person? Come on. Your teacher? It's because when I read, I take longer because I add more information. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Go ahead.
Dr. Abramson says the key difference between all these cohorts are different methods of communication they use, where the silent generation and baby boomers had to rely on face-to-face relationship and are as a result more engaged in their real-life communities. The younger generation has social media for that and create their communities online instead. This difference has led to some animosity between the groups, which Dr. Haberson describes as a chance in communication methods. She says it can be felt everywhere. For example, in the workplace, it can be really frustrating for older generation if they used to asking someone a question in person. When younger generation prefer to, I can see, what is the next mean, sorry.
Sorry, here, prefer to just send a
To
message.
Yes,
when they prefer just to send a message. Don't worry. Thank you, Catherine. Yes, that's the conclusion. It is useful to know because we will find different people in our workplaces. You will work with younger than you, older than you, the same as you. So it is very good to train our soft skills and trying to understand and adapt to that reality. And that is useful because we know how we can behave with them. Not just because we want to be fake. No, it's because we need to communicate with them. We are not in this world like bubble. So if you go to your workplace and you find, for example, a younger person who is very great at technology, that would be also helpful for you because that person will teach you or help you. But if you know that you have to deal with older people, they will prefer more like face-to-face communication and so on and so forth. Yeah, like different things, especially with technology. Yeah, you guys are so good. People who are coming are very good at it, and maybe our parents are not as good as we are. Yeah, and it's a reality. Okay, lots of talking from your teacher. Now is your turn for talking. What are you guys going to do? Let me tell you what is next. We have talked about these generations. Now that we have them clear, we have an exercise to work on. Okay, let me send you the link and let me show you the worksheet. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have the way to watch the video. We can try with me, but yeah, we can. I mean, I can show the video once for all the group, and then when you are discussing, you can watch the video with your classmates, which is gonna be good. This is what we're going to do. We are going to talk about millennials in the workplace. Yeah, the video is related to that topic. And after watching the video, we need to discuss this with our classmates. There are 2 exercises for discussing. The first one has these questions. What stereotypes of millennials are used in this video? Yeah, stereotypes like the ideas they use for referring to millennials or the way they behave. Yeah, stereotypes like, for example, they are very good at technology or they are a little bit lazy or whatever you have heard. How true do you think they are? They are means the stereotypes. Yeah, maybe they are exaggerating in the video and you say, no, they are not true. They are overreacting. How do you think millennials could respond to these accusations, like the stereotypes they are being attributed? Yeah. And then these are the questions. In what aspects are millennials though to manage? Would you agree that the issue of millennials is caused by poor parenting strategy? Like maybe if they have problems dealing with people or getting very committed to an activity or to a person, it's just because our parents did not teach us that. It's because they did not tell us or show us how to do it. Yeah, those are things that come from your perspective and your opinions. Do not worry about, like, for example, basing your answers on any other things, just what you see from the video and what you can share with your classmates. Who is responsible for millennials feeling confused and happy and entitled? Because that is something that we have seen a lot these days. A lot of people getting, to the end of their lives because they are desperate. A lot of people suffering from depression, and I'm not saying, sorry, that that's not real. It is, but it can be a little bit more visible these days. Yeah, like from this generation. Why? What's your opinion? Can we blame social media for the incapability to form deep, meaning relationships? Do you think that social media affects the way we communicate and have relationships with others? And the last one, how addictive is social media? What are the side effects of such an addiction? If you think that it is. If you don't think that it's addictive, you can just say, okay, no. Yes? Questions about the discussion? No questions? Maybe this word, hard or difficult. In what aspects are millennials difficult to manage, like difficult to deal with? Yes, hard. What's going on in the chat? Okay, anything? Perfect. So let's watch the video, you guys discuss that. Let me send the link first. You guys have this one. Oh, how are you guys going to register the answers? There is a folder. I'm sending you the link of the folder where you guys can find this worksheet. But please do not edit the worksheet. You are not going to write on it because I just uploaded one that is the original one. So what you have to do is download it and then edit or write on it and you upload it. That's why you guys are requested to write your names. Look, name and name. Yeah, or maybe we decide to make groups of 3, so you add just another name. Don't worry. As soon as you finish answering the questions, you upload that document, and that is the document that that I'm going to check. Okay? So let me just try to see if the video is good from me. I think it is because it stopped raining. Let's check out. Give me a second. I'm going to switch these. Okay, these headphones. So wait, please. Okay, guys, we are ready. Can you listen to me?
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. So, okay, I'm just trying to do wonderful things for showing you the video. So you guys, please tell me if you cannot listen to it well. Don't worry. Okay, let's go.
So, Marathon Industries, give me a breakdown.
It's a B2B company to provide.
Okay, how is it?
A little low, teacher.
A little slow or okay, low? Low.
Low.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it
Um,
is, wait a second. I think that it is low itself, so it is the video, not the way I share it. But okay, I interrupt you, Manuel. What you wanted to say?
No, teacher, just that the audio is low.
Yeah, it is. Let me see.
So, Marathon Industries, give me a breakdown.
It's a
Mhm.
B2B company.
Wait, let me just see if maybe this. Is it low but clear, right? Or is like robotic and like this? No?
I am not sure, teacher. I didn't hear like too much.
Okay, don't worry. So let's try it once and then of course you guys can just discuss it and check it with your classmates because that's part of it. Yeah, don't worry. And the link again, yes, Kiara, for sure. This is the link of the activity where you find the worksheet. So let's go, let's see if we can do it. But of course, you guys will have plenty of time for the discussion and for watching it again if you need. And you will see that the audio is kind of low.
So, Marathon Industries, give me a breakdown.
It's a B2B company that provides cloud storage.
Chet, what did the market research turn up?
What? Oh, I Googled them, but the results were weird.
You didn't use the market research database that we spend thousands of dollars a month on and that you were specifically trained to use.
I quit. This job is different than I thought it would be.
Stop. Does this situation look familiar? A new type of worker has entered the workforce. They're called millennials. They're terrible. Today, I'm going to teach you all about this new breed of worker so you can avoid misunderstandings in which you feel the need to fire them immediately. In the first reimagination Chet saw, Mary makes the classic mistake of not reassuring Chet while offering overflowing amounts of praise.
Chet, you were so smart to use Google. That's the perfect way to start the research. You're so smart.
Great job.
So the conference call is scheduled for 10:30. So that we're on the same page, let's do a pre-call about 9:30 a.m.
I don't understand. Noodles in the morning. 9:30.
Sheryl Sandberg here isn't aware time exists before 10:30 a.m. For her generation, there's a mysterious dead zone after 4 a.m. and before they stroll into work 40 minutes late with their iced coffee. So take that into consideration for scheduling.
It's very difficult for me.
Fine. I'll take the call myself.
Oh, thank you.
Nailed it.
What's that report that you asked?
Thanks.
Morgan did exactly what was asked of her. Nothing more, less. She expects a raise and promotion.
Thanks. Junior Executive Manager of Data Consulting.
Is that better than assistant manager of junior account?
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm gonna go call my parents.
Now you're getting it.
I need to take work off tomorrow for a mental health day.
Did you know millennials can actually be exceptionally creative with reasons why they need to miss work? These eccentric excuses are normal to them, and they will be to you too.
Sure, that's a normal thing.
Hi, I know I only get 10 days paid vacation, but that wouldn't count a 3-week Argentinian surf spirit quest, right?
No, why would it?
Oh,
Why don't you go home early today?
That's it. Any questions? Why even hire millennials? Oh, right. Well, millennials comprise 19% of the workforce. If none of them worked and their parents supported them, it would cripple our economy and China would take it. So unfortunately, it's your civic duty to employ them. Trust us, we want to fire them all too, but we can't.
Okay, guys, I know you guys need to watch the video again. The video is kind of cool because it's just different situations. What you have to do is this. They are attributed with some stereotypes. For example, the fact that the girl had to schedule their work. She said, I don't understand. And yeah, she seems to not be aware of having responsibilities. Yeah. But I think that they are, I don't know, like accusing so far because, of course, we are responsible. We know about time management. We know how to deal with responsibilities, right? So that's your job to judge if the video is accusing millennials in a very bad way or if they are telling the truth. Yeah, you just say like, yeah, they are like that. Okay, what else do you have to do? In the video, we saw that they are kind of giving some characteristics, yeah, to millennials working. And for example, when the guy did not receive any kind of prize saying or sentences, he said, I quit. That is also another thing that is said, yeah, that we cannot hold a job, that we cannot commit to a job, and that at the first very hard time we say, I quit, bye. Do you think that's true? Do you think it isn't? Do you think that they are accusing the wrong way? Okay, that's the discussion you guys are going to do with this. Questions? Let me see what Diego said. Thank you, Diego. Yeah, I know, but that's your job, you know, like say like no, that's not the way it is. Yeah, I mean that's the video, yeah, the video intention. Like they were kind of how can I say, like, well, that they were accusing, yeah, but some things may be different, of course. Okay, you guys may watch the video again. Don't worry if you could not hear it. Yeah. And I have a question for you. Would you like to work with groups of three or just couples? What do you prefer? How do you feel better? What is going to be better for you in the discussion? Whatever you want is fine for me. Don't worry. Okay, Diego says three. What about the rest of you? So I think three. Okay, thank you, Maria and Marlon and Manuela for saying. Good. So groups of three. Let's try like that so you guys have like more support. Okay. Three, and three. Perfect. Okay, guys, go ahead, enjoy the discussion, and please try your English, okay? Use your English. I will give you all of this time for working on it, so try to discuss it, speak in English, and register your responses. Call me if you need.
Okay, teacher.
Go. Okay, there we are.
Teacher, I lost the connecting.
Okay, Jorge, I will send you to our room, okay? Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
I already sent you the invitation, Jorge. So, Vanessa, I will send you to our room, okay?
Okay, guys, I hope you guys had fun talking about millennials. There is one thing is please do not forget to type your names because I was checking and there is one group who didn't write the names, okay? So please write the names of people who worked in that discussion. And there is also one group who has not uploaded the document. There were 4 groups and I just have 3. Okay, so please do it. Do not forget to do it. Diego, you have a question. Yes, tell me.
Teacher, we only do the first part of the exercise. It's not a problem?
Only the first discussion?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so you guys need to do it later, right? Like just try to coordinate with your classmates how and when you can do it. And of course, I will give you more time for it, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Yes, for the same for the rest of you. If you did not finish because of the time, please try to coordinate with your classmates and do it. Maybe not by tomorrow, but by Wednesday will be okay. Okay? Please. Remember that now we are not having like lots of exercises, but we are just checking that what we do, yes, needs to be done. Okay, so just find a way to do it, please. Thank you for telling me. So that means that I'm not going to check it today, not tomorrow, but Wednesday. Okay, guys. Thank you for working so hard today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye,
You
Bye, teacher.
Bye, guys. Take care. See you tomorrow.